day everyone! For today's video, we're going to discuss the topics about profitability and marketability. So without further ado, let us start discussing with profitability. What is profitability? A company's capacity to turn a profit is referred to as profitability. It also describes the ability of the organization to make a profit. A company is regarded as profitable if it continuously produces items and sells them for a profit. In a nutshell, the company cannot thrive in the long run unless it is profitable. Therefore, estimating future profitability and analyzing present and previous profitability are both crucial. Income and expenses are used to determine profitability.
Now let's talk about the difference between profit and profitability. The term profit and profitability are used quite frequently in everyday talk to mean the same thing. We often hear someone say, "My business made a profit last year," or "My business was profitable." Does making a profit automatically mean that the business is profitable? The simple answer is no. True, the definition of profitable means yielding a profit, but the two words are quite different. So, let me tell you their differences. First, let me define profit. Profit is the excess revenue or expenses incurred in the process of producing the income or revenue. Profit is the absolute amount of money a business makes after accounting for all expenses. Profitability, on the other hand, measures how efficient the business is in using its resources to produce profit. Unlike profit, profitability is a relative measure of the success or failure of a business. It has more to do with the rate of return expected on an investment or the size of return. The point to note is, it is possible for a business to generate profit but not be profitable. In other words, profit is a necessary but insufficient criterion for a business to be profitable. Now let's proceed to the common factors that affect profitability. First, the degree of competition a business faces. If the market is very competitive, then the profit will be lower. This is because the consumers would only buy from the cheapest store. Second is the state of economy. If there is an economic growth, then there will be increased demand for most products, especially luxury products with a high income elasticity of demand. Next is advertising. A successful advertising campaign can increase demand and make the product more inelastic. Next is substitutes. If there are many substitutes or substitutes are expensive, then the demand for the product will be higher. Similarly, complementary goods will be important for the profits of the economy. Next is relative cost. An increase of cost will decrease profits. This includes labor cost, raw material cost, and cost of rent. Lastly is management. Successful management is important for the long-term growth and profitability of business. For example, poor management can lead to a decline in worker morale, which harms customer service and worker turnover.
A sort of accounting ratio called a profitability ratios aids in assessing the company's financial success at the end of accounting period. Profitability ratios demonstrate a business capacity to generate profits from its operation. Let's now talk about the different types of profitability ratios. Companies employ a variety of profitability ratios to gain helpful information about the health and performance of their finances. These ratios can all be grouped into one of the categories. First is the ratios of margin. The capacity of the business to turn revenues into profits is measured in several ways via margin ratios. Second is the return ratios. It shows how effectively a corporation can produce returns for its owners. As you can see on the screen, these are the profitability ratios. Under the margin ratios, we have gross profit, EBITDA, operating profit, net profit, and cash flow. Under the return ratios, we have return on assets, return on invested capital, and return on equity. These are the most frequently used of profitability ratios.
This example will help to shed further light on the difference between profit and profitability. Suppose Jill and Jack, after fetching and selling pails of water for a year, tot up their returns and discover that they have made profits of 58,750 pesos and 117,500 pesos, respectively. Are both businesses profitable? Is Jack's business more profitable than Jill's? It may seem on the face of it that the answer to both these questions is yes. But in fact, before we can answer these questions, we need to do some simple calculations. Suppose Jill invested 117,500 to fund her year's worth of trips up to the hill to fetch pails of water, while Jack invested 11,750,000. Now we see that even though Jill's profit was less than Jack's, she had a return on investment of 50% compared to Jack's meager return of 1%. because Jack could have secured a guaranteed 2% return on his $11,750,000 had he invested it in a risk-free government treasury bond instead of his wildcat hilltop water-fetching venture. His business cannot be considered to have been profitable, despite his $117,500 profit.
Marketability definition. What is marketability? Marketability may apply to things or people. When it applies to people, we are talking about making them attractive to potential employers or clients. People may study for a degree to improve their marketability. This means that they believe that getting a degree improves their chance of getting either a job or a better job. When it applies to things, we are talking about their ability to be marketed or sold. If you are selling your house, you might improve its marketability if you convert the loft into a living area. In other words, converting the loft will make it easier to sell the house. Marketability is a measure of whether a product will appeal to buyers and sell at a certain price range generate a profit.
Common factors that affect marketability. One of the most important factors we may consider that affect marketability is financial performance. For example, recently Unilever launched a new face of their product, Crimson. This is evidence that Unilever is gaining profit. This also indicates that they have a good financial performance because they have the capacity to spend more for the development and improvement of their product to entice more customers. The location of a business is also one of the factors that affect marketability, especially if you are planning to sell it directly to your customers. Additionally, there are some aspects you must consider in putting up your business. That includes demographics, operating costs, sales, and even your competitors. Availability of buyers. Since we mentioned that competition affects marketability, it is not a surprise that availability of buyers also affect marketability. Remember that your business worth depends on buyers' willingness to pay, so the fewer available buyers you have, the lesser your business is valued, or vice versa.
Types of marketability, cost and price. The ability to offer a reasonable price and make a profit at that level. In uncommodity industry, prices are set by the market and a higher cost base is a significant competitive disadvantage. Premium products compete on a price relative to perceived quality. Customer needs. A product that customer will be motivated to buy because it fulfills needs. Functionality and performance. Competitive features and performance relative to other products in the market. An innovative niche product may offer features that are unique. In some cases, a lack of features can be an advantage if customers' needs and preferences are served. Quality. The value of your offerings to the customers including factors such as reliability, durability, usability, customers' experience, and design. Distribution. The ability to reach customers to sell to them and deliver your product and services. Reputation and recognition. The ability to establish a reputation and or brand recognition in a crowded market.
Cassette tapes before and now. In the 1970s and part of the 1980s, cassette tapes were extremely popular. People bought them for their Walkmans, their hi-fi systems, and to listen to in their car. Today, nobody wants them. Nobody currently wants to buy cassette. They will not sell even if they went for just 10 cents each. Cassettes do not sell because they gave way to CDs. CDs subsequently started to die out when we all began streaming our music from the cloud. The cloud or cloud computing is a computing system where files and other data exist remotely, so that is in remote computers. Today, we store more and more data including music in the cloud, which basically means the internet.